Good evening, lords and ladies. DJ Craigie here with the Progeny Behind the Fang podcast. And joining me, as always, my amazing wife and co host, Ming Chow, Neapolitan Wu. And we have a very special guest joining us this fine evening, the one and only Arch Verdandi of the Church Frenesi bloodline. Welcome.
Thanks for inviting me to this fabulous podcast Behind the Fangs. And let me tell you, I really prefer to be behind them than in front of them.
That's right. Don't we all, I think. Don't we all? And welcome to. Thank you for doing this interview. It's been a long time coming.
Well, and through the years, I've seen all your work, so you do great work behind the fangs anyways, so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, we'll just jump right in. So please, would you introduce yourself and tell the community a little about yourself and your roles and, well, basically all you do for Progeny, because I know there is so much.
Well, I am Verdandi, Church Frenesi, the Arch of the Church Frenesi bloodline. I'm also an Inferno, working for Diabolic Parthenia, our mother, as a Spanish translator for the Progeny magazine. I am co-sovereign of the clan Heirs of Blood and princess of the house Hermandad de Sangre. Both of those I inherited from the late Alejandra Rosier. When she passed, she left them to me. I was the second in command. There's a couple of other things that I might not hold the title, but I still help with. But I think that you're going to be asking me a little bit about that later.
Yes.
Most definitely. And wow, I must say that is quite the impressive resume, we'll say, so far. So.
It really is an impressive roster, but you work hard for all of those things. We know your work ethic is amazing. And that's beautiful memory of Lady Rosier. I love that. What does the house name mean? I wanted to ask. I love that name.
Brotherhood of Blood.
I love it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very cool. I like it.
Yes, that's very cool. Okay, so moving right along, congratulations on the 1-year anniversary of your bloodline. So it's very exciting news. Tell us the story about how your new line was created a year ago.
Okay, the story. In the beginning, there was the source. No. Just joking.
Yes.
Let's really start closer to a year ago. Let's get closer to a year ago. I was born in the Church Hongo bloodline, and later it changed its name to Church Ponte Vecchio under Arch Channel. He had a more rebellious preference than the majority of the people that were under him, and he brought into the line more people that shared his view of how vampires should behave. And then many of the people in the line, myself included, were not really happy or comfortable with this change. And then the turning point, which was that he changed the name of the line to something that strayed completely from the historical ways of its original line. Most of the clans rejected what was happening, and some moved to other lines. Others just declared themselves as not following an arch. And some decided to wait a little bit more to see if a miracle could happen that would keep us together like we were. Diabolic Parthenia, our mother, was not happy with what was happening to the line that she had created before she even went to higher service in the realm as a Diabolic, that she was an arch of that line. And she raised a plea to her source. He heard her plea and the plea of so many suffering this chapter in our history. He granted the division of the original line, giving our channel the part that he wanted to continue as renegade and rebellious, and then I was chosen to become the arch of the other branch that maintained the original views of the line. Since I had already been a blood regent of the line, I was given the opportunity to become the arch of that part. That was ended up being called Church Frenesi because, of course, the church part for Diabolic Parthenia, who was the creator of the line, and also Frenesi because of Diabolic Domino, who also helped us a lot during that transition.
I love it. That's an amazing story with a very happy ending.
Well, most definitely, and it seems to have really gone in a positive way for you guys, so I'm really happy to see that.
I am too.
It really has.
And the division is okay too because it kind of allows people to do what they choose.
Yes, they have a choice between what they like or what other persons like. That way it's not imposed on you, the change. So that was good.
And I respect that quite a bit. I like to give people the freedom to change and kind of be who they want to be, and that is highly respectable.
Absolutely.
So you have
And I know
accomplished...
Diabolic Parthenia, she's very proud, I know.
I was just about to say, so what you have accomplished, I'm sure Diabolic Parthenia and Diabolic Domino are very proud, and I know Feli as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, about your line's history, is there anything more? And all what you've accomplished this past year, would love for you to share it with us, or any future plans that you might have in regards to your bloodline, or just any future plans in general that you'd like to share.
Sure. I had a little experience in the leadership because I was blood region, like I said before, of the bloodline for some time before I became the arch. And I brought with me as a leader my sister, Feli Church Fire, who was former arch advisor. So I ascended from blood region to arch, and she ascended from arch advisor as my partner in crime. And as my blood region, she had experience already in the dealings with the arch conclave, just like me. I brought in new blood as well. Dylan El Sinore de Cata. Sometimes people don't see him too much, but he does help me because he balances the difference of languages spoken in the line. Our line is majorly Spanish and English speakers. So Feli can help me with the English part. He helps me with the Spanish part whenever any problem arises or anything that needs to be resolved. Is the counterpart. But the line that started with just English and Spanish has grown to more diverse community. We now have in our line, we have a house that is completely Russian, and we have a house that is completely French. We have some people that speak Portuguese as well. So we're looking into expanding to more diversity as it is possible. But like babies, we just take one step at a time. We always...
It's always the wise thing to do.
Mm-hmm. We always encourage the members of our line not to keep just to ourselves, but try our best to help with the realm. That's how I came up. Since the very beginning of my life as a vampire, I started trying to work, what can I help with? What can I help with? We have been able to get members into helping as Infernos, scribes, podcast team, ushers, progeny kids, the wiki. We have members everywhere, and we encourage our people to get involved into helping because it's for the system, it's for the whole community, not just enclose ourselves just to get all the benefits ourselves. Mm-hmm. And we recently had the anniversary celebration, and it was not just a ball. We began it with a ceremony in which certificates of recognition and achievement were handed to those that have been helping everywhere in the realm. Because people like to be appreciated and recognized for their help, and it makes them feel acknowledged and not taken for granted,
Absolutely, yeah.
Most definitely, and that's highly commendable.
And I cannot say that I have accomplished all this because it has been a team effort. Everybody is part of the whole who achieves all these things, and I would be nothing without the wonderful people in my line, my people, my family. They all raise me up too. I'm very happy with all that.
Yes, I was about to say, it seems like you're all a very tight-knit family, which is great. I mean, and, there's no I in team, so, well, perfect.
I mean, you got a very strong team backing you, so that's awesome, so. And I'm sure they felt the same way about you as their leader, so. So let's talk about the Scribes Guild now. If you can tell us about your role there.
Oh, that's my baby.
And yes,
Okay. Huh?
and the work that you have done with that guild. We would love to hear all about that.
Okay, the guild. I started by offering my help. It was funny because I had just become a vampire and I did not even have there was a time that you had to be a certain age to be able to enter service in the guild. And I had not met that time yet. But they were desperate looking for people for translations and for becoming scribes. And I talked to Diabolic Cassie, who was one of the people in charge back then. And I said, Cassie, Diabolic Cassie, I know that I don't have the time, but if you want to use me on the side, even if you do not give me the tag or anything, I am more than willing to help with the guild, you know? I'll do the translations, I'll do anything, you know, I'll help you. So there was an immense need for people to volunteer and to help in the guild. So I got in and I started receiving like note cards to translate. Then I had to start doing schedules for people to work. Then I ended up working all the meetings. You know, it was crazy.
Wow,
I
that's
They said, you
remember,
want to,
like, you just. I would always see your notices, like, almost on a daily basis. I was like, oh, wow, she is working hard.
yes. Yeah.
I would go to sleep and I would receive a message that some kind of notice needed to be sent out. And I would have turned off my computer and I would just stand up from my bed, go turn on the computer to go send that notice. It was insane.
Wow,
I
that's
wanted to do
crazy.
the work and there was a lot of work to do. So yes. And
Hmm.
then after that time that I was working mostly by myself, great people started joining and I got help uh, by sharing everything I knew. For example, we got the actual Grandmaster Scribe, Ducky Verdandi Eldridge. She is a most appreciated jewel that at the time of need, she was there, she learned, she was my right hand. And then also, Aries Church Franisi has been in the guild for a while. She helped me greatly too. And she's now the Master Scribe. But when I was made Arch, I thought that I didn't want to be like a title hogger because I was already
Mm,
Arch. I was Co-Sovereign. I was Inferno. I was Princess. I decided that I needed to share those titles, you know, pass them on to other people that they deserve them as well too, you know.
hmm.
So I gave that, I passed it on to Ducky, and she has been doing a great job too. But I stayed, and I stayed as, you could call me an elder or a counselor, an advisor. I help, you know, whenever there's any doubts about how something is supposed to work, because I have been in it so long, you know, that
Right.
I can always catch things here and there that, you know, that might not be noticed at the moment. And the thing is that we have always treated the guild as our baby. Uh, it was Diabolic Domino's baby. It was Campion Katarina. It was Diabolic Cassie. It was me. It was a lot of people before us, but Ducky definitely has that you know, jealous love for the guild as well. That she wants things to be done properly and well, you know. And we have a lot of people. We have translators that deal with translating all the notices on a daily basis. We have the ones that send the notices. We have you as a liaison with the Orientation Guild, Ming. So
Yes.
yeah, it's a great team, and we try to do our best.
And
It's so much work for the
I've
Scribes Guild, honestly, and they all do such a great job.
and I've seen, like, since I very first started Progeny, I have went to the Scribes Guild and actually preferred it over going anywhere else for any progeny needs that I may have when it comes to either blood banking or the books or um, my HUD vendor, anything like that, because it's just I love the way it's organized and it's easy to use, and the people there will help
Hmm.
you with anything you
And
need. So,
and
Right,
everything is
true.
accessible. It's not hidden behind the walls and halls. It's just like you drop right there and you have this on the right, this on the left, this on the front, this on the back. Everything is like right there.
yes, it's
Yes,
no
I
maze.
love that
It's
about it.
it's quick, it's easy, and it's like organized.
Mhm.
I love it. It's
Yes,
clean.
I love that too.
Well, here it comes. So first off, I want to
Dun, dun,
congratulate
dun.
you and the one and the only Diabolic Domino on the up and coming 1 year anniversary. So of your
Yes,
two
congratulations
anniversary,
to you
let me
both.
clarify. So we gotta ask, what is it like to be one of Progeny's like ultimate power couples?
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Thanks for the congratulations. And I can say that I am very, very happy. It has truly been a blessing. We met when I started working with the guild some years back, and we always kept a very professional relationship. And we might have liked each other, but we never, ever tried to even talk about anything besides work. Until a little bit more than a year ago, that we looked at the possibility of us getting into a relationship. And since we didn't have to affect our working one, we thought a lot about it, before we decided to make it official. I say that we were made for each other, and I don't regret starting the relationship now, because all those years that we weren't with each other were preparing us so that when we are together now, we are perfect for each other. And I will let you on a little secret. Don't tell nobody.
Okay.
Contrary
Our
to what
lips are sealed.
contrary to what a lot of people may think, that now I know everything happening in his private diabolic meetings, it's not true. I give him his space and he gives me mine. If he doesn't say anything, I don't go asking. I respect his job. And it's the same the other way around. He hardly ever tells me anything about my job. He lets me be. And it's like pulling teeth or pulling fangs to to try to get his view of anything happening. He says, "No, because I don't want to influence you. I want you to be you." And I don't get the insights like people might believe. No, I'm sorry. It does not happen. Not
Yes,
just not just because he respects his job, but because I respect his job.
yes.
No, I don't try to look into it or find out what he's doing or ask him what he's doing. I respect his position.
And that is the
And
surprise too. So see, it works out
Mhm.
great.
But keep the secret. Don't tell anybody.
We'll keep it on the low low.
Yes, on the down
Yes.
low. We got you. Well, congratulations to you both. You make a beautiful couple. And you both work very hard, so it's a good team as well.
Thank you so much.
So, lastly, as is customary here, we like to close it out with a few final thoughts from our guest. Any words of wisdom for the community? Anything you would like to say?
Okay, I would say that we all got to remember that behind every vampire or creature of the shadows, there is always a person. That we have to respect each other, that we should try for being trustworthy, that even in wars there are rules of engagement, and that we should try our best to think that we are not here alone. That we're a community and that we should behave as such. We are not just an island by ourselves. We need each other. And just because if we let these chasms grow between the different opinions, then we're doomed to fail in this life that we have chosen to live. We have to be understanding, and try our best to make it a community, even with the diverse forms of ways of life, forms of lives, or whatever
Just
you want to call it.
ideas in general, right?
Hmm.
Ideology, and yes, absolutely.
but we're still the community of progeny, so we have to learn to live with each other.
It takes a village of fangs and claws, honestly.
And those
Oh,
are
that's
some
awesome.
very wise words, folks.
Yes, those are some powerful words. That's great advice.
Well, it has really been an honor having you here on the Progeny Behind the Fang podcast for the first time on the English side. So we hope
Yes.
and we cross our fangs to have you here again very soon, hopefully with
Yes.
a certain diabolic and blood regent. Nudge, nudge.
That would be an awesome interview.
Okay, you have to gather everybody and make them talk.
That's Craig's job. We'll leave that to him.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much. It's been an honor, truly. And you do amazing work. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Well, thank you so much to you too also for keeping up the work of the podcast and bringing us these awesome interviews very often.
Well,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor. So make sure you stay tuned, hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you again on a very special episode of the Progeny Behind the Fang podcast. Have a great
Good
night,
night, y'all.
everybody.